John Pork lore just revealed something huge. Due to the sheer amount of comments asking me for a part 3, here we are. And this time we have some shocking revelations to discuss. It's safe to say that this is the most important part of the lore thus far. But before we get into that, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to the channel, as I spend a lot of time researching to create these videos. But anyways, let's get into the lore. This time we're taking a trip to the past. But firstly, let's catch up with the current events. After Polly's death, Pengu spills the beans and tells Simon and Tim about Bob Bacon's exact location. Bob, whose army had already been defeated at this point, had to comply to the two and accept his fate. If these two weren't considered monsters already, the next event that's about to happen proves that they are. Bob is put through a slow, gruesome death as the two cook him alive. They watch him in this pitiful state. What once was a leader is now burning in flames. Simon and Tim didn't just leave it at that. No, they took things even further, maybe a little too far. Pengu, who was still mourning the death of his wife, was malnourished. So, the two of them fed the freshly cooked Bob Bacon to him, and Pengu, who had lost all consciousness at this point, gave into his instincts and ate the meat in front of him. Meanwhile, one of the greatest discoveries in the entire lore was about to be revealed. Agent 5.5, who was far away from all of the events that were currently happening, came across a mysterious-looking bunker. Almost immediately, he knew this was where John Pork would be revived. He even says it himself, that he felt some sort of calling to this place. As he enters the dimly lit hallway, he stumbles across the reboot van, guarded by a figure known as the Architect, considered the mastermind behind every event that has transpired thus far. There's no doubt that he is the single strongest character in the lore. The Architect makes a command to Agent 5.5 that he must pledge allegiance to him or he will be erased from existence. Agent 5.5, fully aware of the Architect's immense power, obeys his command. From this moment forward, he belongs to him. Also, to the person who said John Pork isn't alive, yeah, it looks like you're wrong, buddy. Back to Tim Cheese, who had just reconnected to Tina Cheese, his ex-wife that had an affair with John Pork. He confronts Tina, asking why she left him in the first place. Tina reveals that it was because Tim became a monster. He was nothing like the man she fell in love with. Overwhelmed by everything, Tina leaves the dinner table they were sitting at and ends things with Tim. Little did she know that Tim was about to end everything for her. As he followed her closely in the rainy streets, a tear dripped down his face as he shot at his ex-lover. Tim was empty. There was nothing left for him. The entire world thought of him as a murderer, and rightfully so. It's unclear if the events on the island were revealed to the public, but either way, it's no doubt that he truly is a monster. Tim doesn't even deny this himself. He says that the only time he ever feels alive is when he takes the life of another person. It's ever since he started hanging around John Pork that his life went downhill, and even caused him to leave his mother's side. He says that he hopes she doesn't see what his next plan has to offer, ending things on a chilling note. On the other hand, we learn that Simon had a lover too, an innocent cat who was the only person he showed his kind side to. However, retaliation from the other side had already begun, and the mansion she lived in was destroyed by explosives. She was in critical condition, and Simon witnessed it all. Will he and Tim use this to fuel their rage even more, or will they finally come to a truce? Either way, now that we know about the Architect's existence, this opens the door to many possibilities and tells us a lot more about the verse. It's even possible that alternate realities exist, but nothing is confirmed thus far. How the reboot van works exactly, we don't know. Who the Architect is and where he came from, what Marvin Beek's status currently is, these are all questions that require answers. Honestly, I never expected something like this to happen, especially at such a critical rate in the storyline. I thought the lore was nearing its completion, but it looks like we still got a lot left. Let me know if you still want to see updates like this, or if you want me to turn them into shorts. But anyway, check out the rest of my videos, and peace.